Well, when we talk about financial giving to the church, giving to the work of Christ in the world, a lot of us want to be generous, but we don't really know how. And we have really good intentions of giving generously, and we want other people to think of us as generous people. But then we get to the end of the month and the end of the year, and we realize that we haven't been very generous at all. We can even feel like failures when it comes to generosity. So how do we turn our good intentions into real generosity? Well, in 2 Corinthians chapter 9, Paul talks about financial giving using a metaphor of farming. Now, there's nothing wrong with farming metaphors, but I want to offer you a new metaphor today for generosity. So here's the new metaphor. Generosity is financial fitness. Generosity is financial fitness. So with that new metaphor in mind, here are 3 steps to make giving 10% and more go from this seeming like this crazy high impossibility to this very reachable reality for us. So step number 1 is cut the fat. Get out of debt. Cut the fat. If generosity is financial fitness, then debt is our excess financial fat. Debt is the enemy of generosity. It's the result of over-consuming and under-giving. Debt is this excess fat, this visual evidence that we are not as generous as we could be. We are not as financially fit as we possibly could be when we are in debt. Now, to be truly generous, we need to get out of debt, to lose the excess fat. You might say, but I don't know how. Well, find a Financial Peace University class in your area or take it online. Learn how to get out of debt and get out of debt as quickly as possible so that you can first cut the excess fat. Step number 2 is get on a diet. Create a budget. Get on a diet, create a budget. A budget is your financial diet. Now, I don't just mean by budget, live cheap, right? No, I mean make an intentional, written budget. A budget is our written plan for generosity. If we don't have a written budget, we will fail at being generous. What's the old adage? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Your budget says this is what I'm going to consume and this is what I'm not going to consume. This is what I'm going to spend my money on and this is not what I'm going to spend my money on. And listen, no one likes to start budgeting. I know that's not good news because it hurts, right? It's restrictive. We need, though, to consume less. We need to spend less on ourselves so that we can give more to others. And that restriction sometimes hurts. It hurts when you get started on a diet or on a budget because you have conditioned yourself to consuming whatever you want, whenever you want, for as long as you have lived. But as with a diet, so with a budget. It gets easier over time. Your taste buds start to change. Your body starts to crave the food that is actually good for you. Your body starts to feel better and to look better. And over time, with a budget, you start to realize that your life is better without HBO. That you realize that you have less money fights with your spouse. And you realize that with a budget, you notice that you're less stressed out about paying the bills on time. So get on a diet, create a budget. Step number 3, start an exercise routine. Schedule your giving. Start an exercise routine. Schedule your giving. So giving is your financial exercise. You know, with exercise, if you develop a routine and a schedule, you set yourself up for success. If you want to be generous, you have to have a written schedule for giving. Otherwise, you'll get to the end of the month, the end of the year, the end of your life, and you'll realize that you only gave on these random occasions. And only exercising on random occasions doesn't make you fit. And only giving on random occasions doesn't make you generous. Schedule your giving like you schedule your exercise routine. You can even automate your giving, right? Setting up an automatic scheduled EFT, an automatic giving schedule it's like the gym coming to you. It's so easy. But just like starting a new diet hurts, starting a new exercise routine hurts. Starting to give hurts. It's not all that fun and cheerful, even though Paul says, God loves a person who gives cheerfully. Most of us think, yeah, right, a cheerful giver, does such a thing exist? No, giving hurts, right? Again, just like exercise, if you're just getting started giving, you ain't going to be that cheerful. You're going to moan and groan about giving over 10% of your income away. But what starts as hurt, as weird as it sounds, turns into joy. Because here's what you and I know about exercise. CrossFitters, we're known for tearing up our calloused hands from doing too many pull-ups and getting these infected rope burns on our legs because CrossFit hurts. I mean, the mascot of our sport is Pukey the Clown because when people first start CrossFitting, it's so hard that it's normal for people to puke in the middle of a workout because exercise is hard. But then I finish my workout and I stagger up off the floor and I say, man, that was a great workout. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I've been consistently coming back in my exercise schedule for 9 years. And it's become a joy for me. It's hard work, but I am cheerful when I walk into that CrossFit box. And that's how giving works, right? Giving is financial exercise, intentional, scheduled, percentage giving. At first it hurts, and then we actually become cheerful givers. But you have to get started. even if it makes you puke. I don't care what a failure you feel like you've been in the past. When it comes to financial giving, don't be embarrassed. Get started. This year can be the year that you are a champion giver.